upinwa na leza na mugozi. Owamie, 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 Owamie. You a vlogger, fashion over. You upinwa na leza na mugozi. Owamie, 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 Owamie.
Hello, my ninjas! How are you guys doing? It's your girl, Owamie, aka the only Miss Fear Focal in them YouTube streets, Shibobo, okay? Now today, you guys, this is the first podcast that I'm going to upload on my channel. Now it may be long, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I do have some topics that I want us to talk about. This is not really entertainment, however it will be inspired by some celebrities and all that chandish bobo, okay? Now, honestly, I don't know. I feel like, whenever it comes to videos that I upload, most of the times I do have this disadvantage. I don't know if I should call it a disadvantage, but I'm someone that at most times I look at the bigger picture and I don't look at the smaller picture. You understand? And most people look at the smaller picture and then don't look at the bigger picture. So I think that when it comes to this podcast, it will just give me that time and give me that opportunity to kind of vent out on some videos, explain some things a little bit better, and just be myself. I feel like most podcasts obviously will be podcast style in terms of my face ain't going to be on it, Shibab, okay? However, since today, I already had my makeup on. I was like, hey girl, let me go ahead and do this. So yeah, this is my mic, you guys. I've seen that whenever people do the podcast, like the mics are like right in front of them. So girl, why should I not be great like other kids? So, okay, let's go ahead and get into this. The first topic we're going to talk about today is fat and sad shibobo, okay? Woo! A personal one, isn't it? A personal one. I'll give you guys, some of you already know this, but let me go ahead and just tell you guys, I've been with my husband. It's going to be 9 years next week, Thursday. So September the 24th, that's when Habi and I are going to be celebrating our 9th year anniversary. We got married in terms of my husband paying lobola 2018 on the 1st of December. However, we had actually gotten married in terms of going to a pastor who prayed for us, and we signed on the 21st of June 2017. So I was in the fat and sad situation for a very long time, okay? I used to hate that word. I still don't like it, you guys. I feel like it downs people so much. Like, I feel that's the main reason why people will be like, oh, you're in fat and sad and all that shandy. And being someone that lived in that situation of being called, fat and sad for 7 years, if I'm not too mistaken, somewhere there, it was honestly tough. It was honestly hard. And the reason why my husband was not paying lobola was because he did not have the money. Unfortunately, the lobola process can be a very expensive process, and when you don't have the money, honestly, it's just a drag. I'm not going to lie. I do remember seeing my other sisters getting lobola and getting married, and as much as I was still staying with my husband, there was also that part of me that was like, I do wish that one day this will be me. But the way that things were at that time, it was only just difficult, and I was not about to put pressure on my husband when I can see this is how much he's working, this is how much he earns, after we pay the bills, this is how much he's left with. What is Mugai supposed to actually do? However, this was a man, still is, that loved me, respected me, and gave me the world. Well, the world that he could afford, obviously, every single thing, you guys. And he was a great husband to me before we even went and got prayed for and signed, and before other people out there could see him as my husband. You understand? Now, it was very, very difficult. It was very, very hard. I do remember that there were certain points where whenever maybe there was a funeral back home or there's a wedding, if I go with my husband, like people didn't even know how to address him. Do they address him as Owamie's husband? Do they address him as Owamie's boyfriend? How do you address these two people that are living together? But Lobola was not paid. There was nothing that happened. You know, those kind of things. And honestly, for me, it used to hurt me because of, like, to me, he was my husband. He was treating me like his wife and everything. But now, being, I guess, older and being at a different situation, I do see why that was. And if, let's say, you are already staying with a guy, you guys maybe have been together for a long time, he just does not have the money to go and lobola you as of yet. Girlfriend, I'm telling you, like, continue supporting your man. One day he will do right by you. And that's just my opinion, you guys. However, if you're someone that has not stayed with a guy and maybe he's not financially comfortable as of yet, I will not advise that you actually move in with him. It did work out well for me, but it does not work out well for every single person. And that's why I'm just like, I am not for fat and set. If this guy has money and he's not going home to do right by you, you need to ask a lot of questions, I'm telling you, because it's the amount of stress that the whole fat and sad situation comes with, attached with the shame that people actually place on you, is just not worth it for me, in my opinion. If someone can be able to just go out there and lobola you and actually be your husband, or even just go home and hear how much is lobola and all that. So those kind of situations, you guys, like, that's where I stand. I'm just saying, when it comes to father and said, if you're already staying with a guy and he loves you, he shows you all the love, he just does not have the money, I do feel like you do need to stick by your man. However, if you have not entered, as an older sister, I'll never ever advise you to actually enter a father and said situation. It's very, very difficult, you guys. It's very difficult. And another thing again I do see is that, had it been that maybe my husband and I had not moved in together when we were still so young, and before, like, how can I say this, like, he would have paid lobola a lot sooner, because I'm sure he would have been staying maybe in a bachelor where he does not have to pay a lot of money, and everything. But because we were together, we had to get a place that was going to be comfortable for the both of us. You guys know where to stay with my baby sister when she was pregnant, Ray born, so we needed a 2-bedroom. We still needed to hire a nanny that was going to actually be with the child. So a lot of responsibilities did come by me and him staying together. Was it difficult? Yes. Would I change it? Absolutely not. But I do see that life would have been a lot easier for him had it been that, like, I was not there. Would have just been focusing on himself and would have paid lobola a little bit sooner. Now, another thing again that I also do need to tell you guys is that sometimes, if things are really, really difficult, just go and get a priest. And let me tell you, this advice that I'm about to give you guys here, like, people are gonna be like, oh, I mean, you're so evil, whatever. I'm telling you, do it. It's my advice to you, okay? What I've actually seen is that even the Bible says it, you guys. There's certain blessings that come to married couples. My husband and I, you guys, struggled financially for the longest time. Like, we were at one point, we couldn't even have like 5 friends to buy bread. We were beggars, not even going to lie to you guys. I remember once I had to call this friend of mine, beg her, crying for 200 rands. We did not have it. We did not have money for food. So I needed money, and like, I'd already borrowed from her. So this time, like, I had to cry. I mean, when I'm talking now, it seems like it's nothing, but trust me, it still hurts. And things were just not going well. So when my husband lost his job 2017, that is when, you know, like, when things have just been going down and down and down and down, and just like, well, I've reached rock bottom. It cannot get any worse, and it does. That was the situation. So when we came to Free State, I would say that when we came here, you guys, we came here about April. That was in 2017. May, June, after 2 months, that was when my husband started talking of, like, you know, I think that maybe you should go to vendor. I think that maybe you should get someone better that will give you a better life, because things were really, really difficult, you guys. And I remember just saying that, and my husband's eyes got actually like red, teary, and it broke my heart, you guys. So I was like, Nope. I'm showing you that I'm staying with you. So we did go, you guys. We got a priest who prayed for us and we got married. We signed, you understand? And I remember in his prayer, he asked, like, what are you guys doing for a living? My husband said, well, I've got this degree, I've got these qualifications, but I don't have a job. And he asked me, and I was like, well, I'm a nurse, but I'm not working at this moment. So I remember in his prayer, he kept on saying, God, give them jobs. God, give them jobs. Like, that's what he kept on saying over and over and over and over and over again. And that was June, mind you. July, okay. September, that was June the 21st. August the 3rd. That was when my channel went viral. So that was in less than 2 months, okay. September, I got my first YouTube paycheck, which was over 23,000 rands, if I'm not too mistaken. I think it was over 21,000 for sure. It was over 21,000. I can't remember exactly how much. And the same week I got paid, my husband got a job. The job that he's working now, that's when he actually got his job. Ever since then, you guys, like, we kissed poverty goodbye. We're not poor people. By God's grace, we're not. And so, for me, it also did show me that we struggled for years. We get married, a pastor prays for us, and in less than 3 months, I have a job, my husband has a job, and I'm not talking about just jobs here. I'm talking about jobs that are paying us way more than we've ever gotten paid our whole lives, like, combined. So I will also advise to say, if you're in that situation and maybe things are also just not going well, you guys want to get married but you don't have the money, I'm telling you, go and get married. Even if your parents don't know, I'm telling you, do it. Okay, God knows. And I know there are people that are like, well, if you don't get blessing from your parents, things will never work. That's a lie, because when I got married, my parents did not know. Don't even know. If they ever find out, they'll find out because of this. I'm talking about it, but my husband is paid lobola already, so it's not like they're gonna refine him another money. But when I went home for them to pay lobola and everything, my husband and I had already gotten married a year before. You get it? So for me, honestly, I'm just saying, do it in front of God. There's certain blessings that come for couples, and that is just from my experience. People will experience different things, obviously. To each their own, shibubu. To each their own. I want you guys to comment down below. Are you in a fat and set situation? Were you in a fat and set situation? How did it treat you? Would you advise your own mother's child to enter into a fat and set situation? I was in one. I would not advise my mother's child to enter into one, because it is really honestly not easy. It's very difficult. And not to mention, like, sometimes your in-laws, they treat you less than human just because they're like, well, you didn't enter into this house with the white ganj, baby, okay? So you need to just be very careful, you guys. Don't enter into a fat and set situation. That's my advice. If a guy really wants to stay with you, then let him do the right thing first. If it just so happens that you are already in it, I wouldn't say go out, because you've already technically been married to this person. You guys just need to make it official. And I'm not saying go out then put pressure when you can see that money is just not there. Continue, secretly go get married. God will bless you guys, and you will have that money to can go and marry, and you can basically close this shame that black people place on each other whenever someone is in a fat and sad situation. So that is my opinion when it comes to this. Now let's move on to the next topic. The next topic I'm going to talk about is dating old guys when you're still young. Now, this one, obviously, I will be talking in reference of the video that I actually made about Mihlali, and I was saying that my girl is still very young, and I do see that, the people that they allege she has dated are like old men. Now, some people, I feel like, did not understand me when it came to that whole situation, and I'm not explaining, but I just want to make it very clear what I was basically saying, you guys. Now, in my opinion, you guys, if you are still under the age of 25, this is my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. If you are still under the age of 25, I feel like you're still finding yourself. There are other people that are early bloomers. There are other people that are late bloomers. That happens. You may be at 21 and have your life all together. Just like, I want this in life. I want that in life. I'm mentally strong. I'm this and this. Those are rare people, okay? So when we talk, we obviously talk looking at the majority of the people. Most of us from 20 to 25, we don't know what the jack we want in life. We don't. Most of us, you guys, remember, whoever you are, it mostly is influenced by your surroundings. So some people look at me and they're like, oh, you're very harsh, you speak your mind, you're this, you're this. And let me tell you where that comes from. It comes from all these years with my mother. My mother was worse. But I just think of how she was. And my father as well. Like, I've never seen two people that it was almost as if they were from the same mother. Like, these two were just like, I can't even believe it, you guys. So I grew up in that environment where let me tell you something. This is the end, no joke. My mother passed. When my mother passed, I don't know, for some we buried her on a Saturday. On a Sunday, okay? No, on a Monday. On a Monday, I just felt like shaving my hair off, all of it. So I shaved all my hair off. And my father walks into the room. When he walks into the room, he looks at me and he's like, yo, you're so ugly. You're looking so ugly. Now, number one, you need to understand my mother just passed. I just buried my mother day before yesterday. I'm getting all my hair off because I'm going through this grief that I don't even know how to deal with it. But my father still comes and says, wow, you're looking so ugly. And I look exactly like my father, you guys. Like, some people have even said I should have been a boy. So I'm just trying to give you guys like that understanding of like the kind of environment I grew up in. So that kind of environment made it for me that it's okay for me to can just tell you like, no, but this and this and this. And I'm someone that the same things I say online on YouTube is the same Chende. If you ask me, that I will tell you in real life. Like, that's who I am, you understand? The environment where you're in actually influences you. Now, for me, I feel like before the age of 25, I don't think it's a good idea for you to date someone that is 5 years older than you. How should I say this? More than 5 years. Let's say more than 5 years. That's my opinion, okay? So this is the advice that I would give my mother's child. I don't think it's a good idea to date someone that is older than you by more than 5 years. And this is the reason why. You are still a developing mind. You're someone that is still finding yourself. You're someone that is still figuring out who are you in this world. Because remember, the first 20 years of your life, you are a child. You're still just a child. You're mostly under your parents' supervision. Okay, let's say maybe 18, then 19, 20, 19. So let's say you only just have about 1 year, which most of us will graduate our matric at 19. Sometimes, I mean, maybe you failed a grade or whatever, and then some will, obviously most will graduate at 18. So you only have that 1 year, maybe let's say space, and then you're in your 20s. And now you're telling me that you're out here, you're so matured when you're now dating people that are 15 years older than you. What do you think is going to happen to your developing mind? This is the reason why if you find people that got married very young and they now divorced, let's say this person started dating this old man at the age of 18 or 19 or 20, and now they're 35 years old, and this guy was maybe like 15 years their senior, and sure, maybe he had money and everything. And now they get a divorce. You'll find that this woman does not even know what to do with themselves because they don't even know who they are. When their mind was still developing, there was someone that is a lot older than them that was already imposing, this is who you are, this is how you should be, this is how you should live, this is how things are done, this. So you never really had that time to actually just be a free spirit, free-minded person and actually just figure out life yourself. Now, you guys do not always laugh about age. Age for me is not just a number, and that will always be. And for me, I'm just like, if somebody is 10 years older than you, okay, like I feel like that's also pushing it. But now 11, 12, 15, 20 years older than you. Some marriages work. I'm not saying that it's all of them that will not work. But most you guys, I don't see them people being in happy marriages. I do not. And the reason for that is because if you're dating somebody that's 15 years older than you, this person has done most of the stuff. If it is the drinking stage, they've gone past it. If it is the smoking stage, they've gone past it. They've either seen if it works for them or if it does not. And when they marry you or they're in a relationship with you, they want you to jump those stages and just move from zero to where they are. Oh, you're dating a 15-year-old, someone 15 years older than you, and that person is just so immature that this person still thinks 15 years prior, which is a horrible idea. I mean, if you are just too advanced for your age, which at most times you are not, they're just dumb copying you, then okay, that's something. But when you're dating somebody that is 15 years older than you, and this person is just, oh, he's so much of a free spirit, he still thinks like he did 15 years ago. I don't see that, you guys. So those kind of things, most of them may be happy in public, but in private, those relationships tend to be very controlsive, because at most times it's that maybe the man just has a lot of money, and when you're there because you want money, so if he's going to work or he's doing whatever, you need to just understand that I'm here for the money, he's here because I'm young. That's it. Sort of almost like an arrangement and whatever. And I'm not saying that it's all, I'm saying that it is most, in my opinion, or like in how I have seen it. So when you're still young, like 25 and less, I would not advise you to date somebody that is 5 years, that is more than 5 years older than you. Date somebody that is not going to be imposing what they have learned in this life too much over who you should be. Now, I did see some of your comments, you guys actually saying, no, I'm tired of dating kids and whatnot. At least you tried it, and at least you saw that maybe this does not work for me. And you guys need to also remember, it's not everyone. I dated some older guys, you guys. It did not end well. I'm not even going to lie. I do remember Mbumili Dwaba also spoke about it, like dating young, how it almost destroyed her life. She did talk about that. If you guys watch that, then you know what I'm talking about. But for me, it's never really, honestly, a great idea when you're still young to date someone that is so much older. But if you're like, let's say maybe 25 and above, at this moment, like, you now know who you are. You kind of have an idea of, this is what I want for myself. This is the kind of life I want for me. So someone is not going to just come and easily impose themselves on you. You get it? So it's just like, now I'm 30 years old. If I date somebody that is 50 years, obviously, which would be 20 years older than me, I'm telling you, I'm still Miss Fair for Coach Bob, okay? I know who the heck I am. I know who and what I want to be in life. So it's not easy for a man like that who can just come. I can actually be at a level where mentally I can also be able to challenge him, which obviously is not something that I'd ever do. But I'm just saying, okay? Now, I want you guys to go ahead and comment down below what you guys think of this whole situation. And another thing, again, I also want you guys to just be truthful. Did you guys date older guys when you were really young? How did it end for you? What are the lessons that you guys actually learned? What would you give your younger self? Like, what advice would you give your younger self or your own mother's child who maybe is considering dating a much older guy at a very young age? 25 and above, girl, do you. 20 to 25, I think that don't date too old of a guys, because you'll end up not even knowing who you are really. Because now, if you date this old man, he wants you to be this girl that doesn't drink. He wants you to be this girl that doesn't smoke. He wants you to be this girl that doesn't do this and this and this. He wants you to be like this. Do you know that at age 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25, you're kind of like in the middle. If you date this old man that is like, oh man, I find girls with tattoos so sexy. Oh man, you can go shbubu and have a full sleeve when you don't even love tattoos. After he has left, you are left with a whole hand filled with tattoos you don't even like. And you did it because of you wanted to please this man, because your mind is still too young. You're still developing. You don't even know yet that I actually hate tattoos. Guys, I'm telling you the honest truth. You all need to just be very careful. This whole age limit and whatnot, that, this man perverts will sit up there and they're like, at 16 she's ready, she can make her own decision if she wants to have sex or not, or whatever. Don't go by that. An 18-year-old is still a child. A 21-year-old is still a child. And I know that it's quite crazy, because sure, I met my husband when I was only 21. I'm grateful that at least, I did meet the love of my life at that point. But for some of you that do not know, my husband and I actually the same age, so we did grow up together. We went through the drinking phase together, we went through the smoking phase together, we went through the brokenness together. Now we're getting coined shibubu together. And I'm not saying that's how it will be for everyone, but at least I was able to find myself. And by 25, 26, I knew this is the life I actually want to live. You get what I'm saying? So you guys need to just be very careful, and that's all I'm going to say when regarding this matter. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the last topic. The last topic, you guys, that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be talking about family values in Black people. This one is very important, you guys, and I feel like it's very close to my heart because I feel like people don't really fully understand. I always say that I stand for family values in terms of I believe a child should be born to a mother and a father that are married. That's what I believe in. Now, is that how it always goes? Of course not. It does not. Do I think there's a bit of negligence that also happens? Yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of negligence that actually happens. There are some girls that choose to fall pregnant by a guy because they know he has money, so they can actually keep him, which obviously you guys know that don't work. Others are obviously just after the money, like the child support. Well, I'll sue him and I'm gonna get a certain amount of money every month. Others are actually just doing it for the clout, to be this person's baby mama. All of a sudden it's a culture, it's a beautiful thing, people praise it left, right, middle and center. And I actually just saw, you guys, this other article, and I'm sure I'll put it somewhere here, but that was showing all the statistics of children that grow up without fathers, that they are the ones that mostly get into trouble, they end up in prison, that the ones that mostly just horrible things, you guys, not even going to lie. Now, it's not all, but it is majority, and that's what the article was saying. That's not me actually saying this. I grew up in a home where my mother was there, my father was there, and I did see benefits of it. I'll tell you why. Whenever I was doing standard, I'd say grade 10, you know, this is when I'm still young, boys are starting to approach you. When they tell you you're beautiful, again, child mind, you believe it. You're like, oh my gosh, he said I'm beautiful, he said he loves me, oh my gosh, you know. And so I had classmates, you guys. We were actually a group, I'd say a group of 5. This was me and my friends. All this other 4, the other one, the father was working in Joburg, so it was just the mother that was home. So she was kind of like raising the children by herself, I should say, because, you know, the husband was always in Joburg and he would rarely come back. The other one, the mother passed and the father was just not there, so she stayed with her grandmother. The other ones, they just did not even have their fathers in their lives. I was the only one that was from a family where my mother and my father were actually there. And I remember they used to do things. We were just in grade 10, you guys. These others, you know, they're being grown by their grandmothers. So, I mean, your grandmother's not going to really do much. So they would be talking about these stories of how their boyfriend came last night. They snuck out as if they were going to the toilet, and then they were with him. You know, they did this, they did that. I will not lie, you guys. At that time, that was like a fantasy for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I can do that. But let me tell you, I had a lion of a father. My father was a no-nonsense taker. You go to school, you come home, you sit down. You ain't going nowhere, shbubu. And I knew that if I snuck out of the house, like that would actually be the day I signed my own death warrant. So I never ever even tried it. Not even a single day, you guys. I'm telling you, my father did not play that game. Now, my mother was a very strong woman. She was someone that, you know, was also a non-nonsense taker. But with my mother, I would date. You know, this is my mother. I mean, you don't carry me 9 months, you ain't killing me. But my father did not carry me for 9 months. So I actually did see this old man killing me, you know. And I don't know how, but it is always that thing. We always try it with our mothers. But with fathers, you guys, I'm telling you, you will try it. You are not going to go far with it. So I saw the huge benefits that I had because of I grew up with my father in my life, and I had a father that was such a strong figure in my life. All my friends from the group, as I said, we were 5, all of them, they had kids before we reached. The last one had a child at matric, but this other 3, they did not even get to grade 11 without kids. They all dropped out, the three. The only one who actually has matric is the one that had a child at grade 11 at matric, and that's the one whose father was always in Joburg, and she did end up getting married. The others, you guys, I don't even want to get into that because honestly, it's seriously bad. And when my father found out that I was hanging around that group, he moved me schools. Grade 10, when I did grade 11, my father actually moved me to a school where his best friend was the principal, because he was also the principal there. And my mother was like, no, but why are you moving her? Because there she's passing well and whatnot. My mother was emotionally thinking for me. My father was there to just use his mind. And I'm so grateful that he moved me from that school because of those friends, because they did have influence, you guys. So for me, when someone is like, marriage is not for everyone, but you also want to have kids, are you only thinking for yourself? Are you also thinking for the kids that you're going to bring into this world? Now, we don't need to understand there are some mothers that are single mothers because of their husband passed. That is out of their control, because they got a divorce. That is also out of their control. There's no one that I know that will be like, I'm getting married to get divorced, unless if you're really evil and you just maybe wanted that shmanish boo. But most people get married because they love this person, they want the relationship to work. But now maybe this person is abusive, this person is cheating and whatnot. You're now forced to have to leave, and then you become a single mother. Those are certain things in life that you just cannot control, and I can never blame somebody for that. But for you to sit down and actually plan and say, I'm going to be a single mother, I'm never gonna get married, I'm gonna just have kids, I'm gonna just be a baby mama. Are you thinking for the kids that you're going to bring into this world? Are you thinking of the difficulties that these kids are going to actually have to face? Do you understand the benefits of having a mother and a father in your life? And I think that is the reason why I'm saying that as Black people, we need to go back to family values. We need to value families again. We need to value the concept of a mother and a father that are married, raising their children. This country, especially South Africa, you guys, we are just a disaster, you guys. I'm not even going to lie. If you look at white people, most white people, they're actually into family. They're into family values. That is why no matter how rich this man is, you're not gonna see him in the club blowing thousands or hundreds of thousands. I saw this other bill, you guys, that was that bill not $1 million in booze? And I saw that the tip, I think they tipped whoever was doing that 90,000 rands. The waitress or waiter. And white people are more rich than us. Yet if you look at them, they spend a lot of money in going on holidays with their family. They spend a lot of money in going out on holidays with their spouse. Like in white household, they have a time where they know this time we're actually going to a different country. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to spend time, whatever. It's not even like they don't drink. They do drink, but they drink responsibly. Unlike our Black people, the concept of family in Black people is just nothing. As husbands, once he starts making money, he needs to look for a slave queen. He needs to look for a side chick. He needs to look for this and this and this. Our kids raise themselves. Our kids are raised by helpers or maids who are bitter. If you see videos of maids ill-treating children when no one is there and they put a secret camera, you're going to cry. You're never going to want someone to come and take care of your child. You're not. Why? Because as Black people, again, we don't treat them right. So whenever I yell at her, she takes those frustrations to my child, out on my child. Some of them are just jealous. They look at you, maybe you're younger, you have a husband, you have kids, they take it out on your children. Your children grow up in a rich household with anger issues because of the maid was busy abusing them and you never even realized. As a father, you were out there in the club busy getting slay queens. As a mother, you were out there also getting your own because you're like, if he's cheating, I'm also going to cheat. Who's raising these kids? We need to start going back to respecting families. That's why I'm always like, respect people's marriages. I don't care who the F you are. If somebody's husband comes to you, you're declining that, okay? And there are people that are like, well, men are not more than women in the country and whatever. I do get that, you guys, but if it's already taken, then accept that it's already taken. There are other people who are like Bo Musam Seloku's wives who are like, yeah, even if he's gonna take how many wives, then I'm gonna be okay with it. But if that's not the case, then stay away from people's marriages. Learn to actually say, let them be a family. And of course, it also goes to husbands and wives that they need to respect their marriages. They need to respect the fact that as a family, we need to make this work. We need to do everything that we can to make it work. And that's for both of them, not just the wife, not just the husband. But the concept of family in black people needs to be reinstalled, you guys. Because right now, people are just so comfortable being somebody's baby mama. And it's so difficult. And unfortunately, we're a generation that is now raising angry kids, fatherless children. Some don't even know. I'm shocked. Some don't even know their fathers, because their fathers found out that you were pregnant and they bounced. So even when the child asks, who's your father, you answer with anger because you also don't know where the father is. You answer with anger because you have angers of the fact that he never even supported the child. He lied to you and stuff. And that's why I say, as a young person, tell yourself, I'm not going to give you a child until you marry me. Tell yourself that. If this guy is so eager to have a child with you, if he can trust you with his seed, he should be able to trust you with his ring, honey. Okay? After all, which one is more important? The ring or the seed that you are going to have to grow for him? Some people are saying that, well, even being married is not a guarantee. Yes, it's not a guarantee. But at least it gives you some sort of cushion. When you're a divorcee that has a mother, that has a child, it's not the same as just being somebody that never even got married and you have a child in your father's house. I'm not saying every marriage is going to work out, you guys. And I'm not saying that I know everything about everything. And I know that this world is cruel. Things will happen that you don't even expect. But can't you at least try to cover all your bases? Because if this guy marries you, it's impossible that your family is going to go to his family is going to come to your family. And the fact that this guy has a wife is not going to come up if he does have a wife. Because some of them are married and they're giving you kids. You don't know. You find out once you're pregnant that he actually has a wife. Now you're shocked. Oh my God, I didn't know. Why did you fall pregnant by him? Stop giving people that did not marry you children. Stop this culture of wanting to be somebody's baby mama. It is not an achievement. And I'm not saying that the kids are not blessings. Children will always be blessings. We will always love the children. But can't you at least wait and let the children come at the right time? When you're fully ready. Financially, spiritually, and relationship-wise. And so those ones that are like, well, marriage is not for everyone. I don't want to get married. I do this, I do that. But yet you're already staying with the guy. The father and son situation. Like, I don't care about marriage. You're lying. Don't lie to us. What's really happening? Is it money? Is it the fact that Mugai is just saying he won't marry you? What's going on there? Because if you already stay with a guy, you're married to him. He just needs to make things official. That's it. Anyway, this is today's podcast, you guys. I know that it's long, and I want you guys to actually comment down below and tell me what is your opinion when it comes to this whole situation. Another thing, again, I want you guys to actually tell me what topics would you like for us to discuss on our next podcast. I don't know how many times this will be coming in a month, maybe once or twice a month. I don't know. We'll see. And if I touched your nerve, I'm really sorry. This is my opinion when it comes to this particular topics. And you need to remember that I'm a girl that was raised in a village. So maybe I'm just not advanced enough to see the baby mama culture as something that is just so important. To see a 20-year-old dating a 45-year-old as something that she's living her life when her mind is not even fully developed. And again, like, what was the first topic? The fat and sad situation. I did it. I would not advise you do it. It worked fine for me, but there are many people that it ended wrong, okay? So anyway, I love you ninjas. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye.